Hi everyone, my name is Wendy, and my speech today is going to be about Alzheimer's disease. I know it's a little bit of a depressing topic, but with people living longer and longer lives, there's a good chance you're going to know someone, whether it be your parent or your grandparent, or a friend of yours who has a parent or grandparent that is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So knowing a few of the signs and symptoms might come in handy so that you don't become so impatient with them. You'll understand maybe what's going on with them and be of some comfort. Of the 10 causes of death, 10 leading causes of death in the United States, Alzheimer's is the only one without a cure or treatment. There is no way to eradicate this right now. Researchers are trying, the money's pouring in for the research, but they have no idea how to stop it. When you're diagnosed with Alzheimer's, you're diagnosed with a terminal disease. You deteriorate. You go from being able to do your everyday activities to pretty much back to infancy. You're unable to use the toilet, to eat, to drink. Your body just shuts down, and that's why you die. I mean, that's what happens. Also, 2/3 of all people who are diagnosed with Alzheimer's happen to be women. Again, researchers don't know why, it's just how it is. They're looking at the brain differences upon autopsy to see what might be the cause of that, why more women are afflicted with this. Also, statistics say by the year 2050, the United States alone may possibly be spending $1.1 trillion in research and possibly medication, some form of treatment per se, for Alzheimer's. I'm going to show you a picture, a couple of pictures actually, of the human brain. This human brain on this side here, this is normal. This is not afflicted with Alzheimer's. This one is. As you can see, it's atrophied, which means the brain is shrinking. It's no longer, parts of it no longer work. It deteriorates actually. And the higher photo, there's a photo of a normal brain. There's a photo of a mild dementia brain, meaning some forgetfulness, whether it be short-term, long-term. And then you have Alzheimer's. And again, you can see where it's just being eaten away by the plaques, which are buildup of protein in the brain. So it's quite remarkable. You can actually go on to alzheimers.org and see some video. Of course, it's time-lapsed, but it's rather intriguing to see how quickly it's almost like a Pac-Man game. And not to be funny, but that's what as I was watching, I was like, it's like a Pac-Man game. It's watching the brain be eaten away, and it's just awful. So, a few signs and symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. The first one is memory loss and how it disrupts your daily life. As I said, people with Alzheimer's, their brain is atrophied, that it's dying. So imagine knowing that as you're sitting down to eat your meal, you sit down with your family, and then your granddaughter might say, "Grandma, Grandpa, why aren't you eating?" "Oh, is that what I'm supposed to do?" There's just not that thought process anymore. It's gone. And you have to be prompted to do most daily things that you normally would do on your own and that we take for granted. Challenges in planning life events. You're no longer able to say, "I'm going to run to the store, I'm going to pay the bills." You can't do it. You don't have that thought process, the ability to get behind the wheel, and your judgment of space and time, not knowing that car right there is 2 feet, not 200 feet. Trouble understanding the spoken word and written words. You will find a lot of times people with Alzheimer's disease will start to tell you something and just stop. And they just stop, and you'll say, "Oh, really? So what else happened?" "Well, what were we talking about?" They completely lose track of what they were saying. Changes in mood and personality, that's huge, because think for yourself as you deteriorate. If you had Alzheimer's disease and you could no longer brush your teeth, you can no longer brush your hair, put makeup on, use the bathroom by yourself, it would make you a little moody. And they know they're losing their independence. They know they're losing their dignity. So instead of seeing them as a crabby old bat, as I've heard many people say in a nursing home setting, put yourself in their shoes. There's a wonderful exercise that I wanted to do with the class, that you give everyone a piece of paper and ask them, one person does this, hands the class a piece of paper, says, okay, number 1 through 10. And as they're writing the numbers 1 through 10, you have 3 or 4 other people walking around the room giving out other orders to do or questions. What's your favorite color? What'd you have for breakfast this morning? Did you want to go out to eat today? Why are your shoes untied? Do you have to go to the bathroom? Oh my gosh, it's going to rain. And quickly, firing it like that. That's how an Alzheimer's patient feels. That's how their things are going on in their brain. It's just jumbled. They can't make sense of any one thing. So it's frustrating. They're going to lash out. They don't understand what's happening to them. So you have to remember not to take it personally. If it's your grandmother or your mother or your father or your grandfather, whoever, if they don't remember you, it's not because they don't want to remember you. They just can't. If they lash out at you, they don't mean it. They can't help it. I have a patient who knows his dog and his cat very well, but he is convinced that his wife is his mother. Now, this is a couple who has been married for 57 years, and he doesn't know her. He calls her mother. It's sad, and it's hard for the family to watch. So keep in mind, in conclusion, I just wanted to show you this picture. I hope you can see it. It's just a picture of a person's head, and there's just a huge amount of activity going on in their brain. And that's how, again, an Alzheimer's patient feels. It's constant until the end stages, and then we don't really know. They have no way of telling us how they're feeling because they can't speak anymore. So, in conclusion, have patience. If grandma, grandpa, or mom or dad are given this diagnosis, do research, do everything you can. There's a lot of things you can do in the early stages to keep their life as full and less anxious for them. Keep them involved as much as you can and as much as they can handle it. They get tired easily. And it's not a physical exhaustion, it's a mental exhaustion. They just eventually want to shut down. They want to just sit there and do nothing. Try to encourage outings, going for walks. Going to restaurants, not so much toward the middle or end, but in the beginning, keep them active. Keep them doing the things they love. And please be patient with them. Know that they need your love, they need your support. They loved you and supported you your whole life. Don't lose patience with them. It's the disease that you hate. It's not your loved ones. Thank you.